prepare for gas hike prices at the pump. That's the headline. And this is coming up in the next few days, the analysts warn. I personally know truckers that have had to hang up the keys because they couldn't handle all the inflated prices and the gas prices and fuel charges. Coupled with everything else going on, it's just getting to be too much. Well, there's more coming. I'm gonna give you what you need to know coming right up. If you guys are brand new here, welcome to our awesome community where you can find prepping tips, emergency preparedness how-tos, just like these right here. And I also bring you guys awareness of what's going on that could affect you. If you guys find value in that, be sure to hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one.
DeHaan with me, gas body guy. Look, I think gas prices are going up from here because OPEC cut production. I've been wrong about gas prices before. Am I right this time?
No, Stuart, I think you're 100% on the money here. And I think it's just within a matter of the next few days, we'll start to see those retail gas prices accelerating as a result of those OPEC production cuts.
When you say accelerating, you mean like up 2, 3, 4 cents per day for a week or two?
Well, it probably will be on the cusp of that. I think it'll amount to 5 or 15 cents.
Doesn't sound too bad, but that's not just it. Some areas are already seeing 30 to 45-cent jumps, and other places expected to go up big.
Right now, the week-on-week increase is only about a nickel, but we are starting to see some signs that states are going to go up big. In fact, some big jumps today in the state of Ohio, where prices seemingly jumping 20 to 30 cents. That's going to spread throughout the Midwest, Stuart, and then into Florida. Those states tend to be bellwethers that move first.
Wait a second. You've got stations in Ohio which today bumped up the price 20 or 30 cents a gallon? Really?
Yeah, that's right, Stuart. Some of the states in the Midwest, as well as the state of Florida, engage in what we call price cycling. They're the first to move, and they generally see really big corrections. And so Ohio is starting to see some of those stations go up 20 to 30 cents. And I would say within the next 24 hours, we'll likely see the same happening in Indiana and Michigan, where stations could also get closer to $4, Stuart, maybe $3.85 or $3.95 in those states. That's a 20 to 30 cent bump, and that's what the rest of the nation may start to see as well, with the national average potentially rising 10 to 15 cents over the next week or two.
Well, that's news and a half right there, Patrick DeHaan.
And those are the kind of prices that we feel in the pocketbook, especially for those of you that drive for a living. Maybe it's truckers, fuel costs. When all the fuel costs go up, they go up. You got Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, Door Dashers. I know a lot of people out there are trying to do stuff like that to try to bring in some extra money to fight some of this inflation and this increased cost of everything. But you guys got to remember, big snowball effect when this happens. We're talking about shipping costs going up, which means stuff at the store that we've already seen inflation on, it's got to go up because it's costing more to get it in there. So when we see gas prices projected to start lurking their way up, you got to expect some more inflation across the board as well.
Tell me about diesel. We've got a lot of farmers and folks who use heavy machinery watching this show. I've got diesel at the moment. Just lost my note.
And some of you might be thinking, well, is this really going to affect the diesel? The projections on diesel is they think it's going to moderate, maybe not as much of a hike on the diesel end, but that's also a wild card. So keep your fingers crossed on diesel because that's a really driving force for the overall inflation. In this business article, it says after OPEC members announced surprise production cuts in its oil outputs just before the busy summer travel season, one gas buddy analyst warns America drivers could see gas price spike within the next few days. So with that being said, might not be a bad time to top off your gas tanks. Could save you some money over the next few days. If you got gas cans, gas reserves at home, also a good time to top those off. Will there be gas to buy in a couple weeks? Most likely, you're just gonna probably spend more for it. Like I said, the petroleum analyst says, I think it's just a matter of within a few days, we'll start to see those gas prices accelerating as a result of the OPEC production cuts. And you might be wondering, well, how much are they cutting? OPEC's decision to pump 1.15 million fewer barrels of oil each day, according to the experts, may force a state gas price average to increase anywhere from 5 to 15 cents. We know historically speaking, when they say 5 to 15 cents, it usually means 30 to 45 cents. That's the way it's been in my area. And so they're saying those gas prices should breach $4 a gallon after those production cuts. So a little bit more for those of you out there in the areas where you're gonna expect the higher prices for sure. It says Midwest, some parts of Florida are already starting the price cycling, and it says the first move and generally see really big connections is South Ohio. South Ohio is starting to see some of those stations go up 20-30 cents. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are seeing so we can check out the status here in just a few days. It also says, I will also say within the next 24 hours, we'll likely see the same happening in Indiana and Michigan, where stations could get up closer to $4, maybe over, maybe $3.85, maybe $3.95 in those states. Now for the rest of you guys that want to see the entire map to kind of see where you guys are going to be, here in this tweet from Gas Buddy with sending the price of the barrel at $80 a barrel, more prices jump are likely to come. And you can see over there on the West Coast, Los Angeles area, you guys are probably going to see it hit $5 if you don't already see it already. Denver's looking like it's going to be heavy. Dallas, not too bad, still hovering down there around 325. Florida, like they said, Atlanta 317. Upper northern, northeastern, you're going to see Detroit. Those guys are, all that area up there is probably going to hit up around the $4 to $5 range. And again, it says for those of you guys using heavy machinery and require diesel, he indicated that those retail prices continue to moderate, but at the same time, it is a bit of a wild card. And another big one to keep in mind that's going to affect this, less than 60 days away from hurricane season. One big factor associated with that oil, President Andy Lipow says further complicates the gas prices. So if it's not one thing, it's another. And in this case, a couple things. And if that wasn't enough, there's another big driver. It says a major storm is making landfall along the Gulf Coast, where 15% of the nation's oil production and over 45% of the nation's refinery capacity is located, and can result in significant supply disruptions, sending the price even higher. So I wanted to get this to you because this isn't just a roller coaster of up 5 cents, down 10 cents, up 5 cents. We're talking about 30, 45 cents. And this is gonna kick it over to where we feel the pain a little bit. So that's what I'm trying to do for some of you guys. Give you a little bit of warning so you can go out and top off your rigs, top off your tanks, because it most likely is gonna save you a little bit of money. And with inflation out of control, we need all the help we can get. If you wanna know a little bit about a deceiving measure out there that you might not know about, this is a really good video in case you missed it. And if you're worried about the quality of your water, be sure to watch this video right here. And if you're out there and would like to make an honorable movement, come switch with RHL to American-made, family-owned. A lot of consumer goods out there where you're just supporting the wrong people, which are supporting things that you guys don't believe. Come check us out at www.switchwithrhl.com. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing, guys. We'll see you on the next one.